Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to Ian's Adventures on this occasion here in the great outdoors. Please enjoy the channel, take it for what it is. Sometimes there's a lot of videos goes on in a short period of time, and sometimes there's a gap, so it gives you time to catch up. Alright, on this channel you're going to get wild camps, you're going to get equipment reviews, gear that I've made myself, things that I've made myself like bowls and cups and spoons. You're going to get different bits of gear. You're going to get stealth camping, but also bushcraft camping. So please enjoy the channel. Remember to like, share and subscribe. And if you get the chance, hit the bell below. Alright, so when I put any new content on, it'll ding up on your phone or whatever it is that you're using. Thank you very much for stopping by. See you in a bit. Thank you very much. Right, I've decided that I want to make something. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm thinking some kind of basket or bowl. Now this could go anywhere, in all honesty. I think we'll be having a cup of tea while we're at. So it's a case of finding an environment where I can see something I can make something out of. Now obviously there's so many things you can use out here. It's ridiculous. So we're going to have fun choosing wait a minute, choosing what I'm going to use, how I'm going to use it and what I'm going to make out of it. I hope you're having an absolutely wonderfully adventurous day. Top marks. Although at the moment it's raining quite heavily, but this canopy is keeping most of that rain off. As you can see, the rain all over the floor, but it's only spitting in here. But if I look out there, you can see the sort of haziness where the rain's coming down. All you've got to do is look above you and find out where the thickest canopy is and just stand underneath it. Nature provides. It's coming down particularly heavy now. But I'm underneath this, so hardly anything's hitting me. I knew it was going to rain today. I've got my shelter in my bag. I'm not putting my shelter up for this, so I can quite happily sit underneath this tree with a few drips coming through. That's not going to bother me. So it's time to put the ground sheet down. I love this little bag because it holds everything that I need. You can see it's fairly waterproof. It's beading a lot of that rain off. It was fab sealed and then fab sealed again, and it is thick canvas, so I can't see anything going through, and if it does, it's got that waterproof bag inside, so I ain't even worried about that either. Now if you look around, you'll see all these brambles, so I think we're going to be making some kind of bramble basket today. Maybe incorporate some other stuff if I get that way inclined. We'll see how we go. Okay, hopefully you can see that I've got my axe, my saw and my knife. Yes, I'm back to using that for a while. I'm not going to not use it. I've taken a little bit of weight off that now, so it's not so much of a wedge and it's lovely and sharp. And it's chrome vanadium, so there's less chance of it rusting too, which is always going to be a good thing. Right, so here I am, there's my brambles, here's my tools. At this point I can actually take my belt off. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to use my knife to back script, show you, all the spines and the, oh, use that one, leaves and everything off these brambles. A lot of people have different plants that they like to use, and bramble is possibly my first. My second is silver birch and my third is fir trees. Silver birch has got so many attributes, from making fire to the bark being awesome for making containers, as I've done many times before, and so many things that fir trees can do, etc, etc. So I mean the list is endless, but for me this has to be my most diverse plant. I use it for waterproofing shelters, as cordage, things for strapping things together, and it just goes on and on and on. This one seems to like me quite a lot. It goes on and on and on, and I love it. It's just like, it's like Velcro, it just likes to grab hold of everything. All I'm doing is just running my blade sideways over everything, and as I go down I'm just carefully trimming the leaves off. And I'll do that until I've got all this, so we can start making some kind of framework so that I can go out, collect some more and start creating the actual basket itself. But I'll be honest with you, we're learning this together because I've never done this before. I have literally never made anything in this style before, and I've always believed that one of the best ways to learn things in a safe situation, obviously not dangerous things, is to just go out and have a go at it, and then work through the process backwards. What went wrong? What did this do? What were its attributes? Why did it fail? Etc, etc. And that's what we're doing. So all the things that you see me make, I don't go online and research how to make them. I basically go out and have a go at making them, and then reverse engineer the process to find out what went wrong, and then to write it again. So when people see a lot of things that I make, you might think, well, he's done that wrong, or that doesn't seem to make sense, or, but it works. By the time I've finished, it works. And hopefully this is going to work as well. One thing I will say to people is, when you come out here and you want to get involved in it, don't pussyfoot around. Get in it, get this stuff all over you. When you go home, you want to be smelling of the woods. Not as if you're coming home still smelling aftershave and you've just been out and had a go at it. Yeah, get out, get sat in it, get covered in dirt and the plants and all the stuff that it is that you're making, because it gives you a more personal and more interactive experience when you're out here, and it creates, because it's more sensory, it creates a more vivid memory, and that memory is one of the things which drives you on to continuing coming back out again, because you might go away from it thinking, well, we're all right, blah blah blah, but all the smells and the more three-dimensional imagery incorporated with this is the thing which long term builds up and gives you the passion and the imagination to think of new things that you can do, so you can improve your experience. So come out and smell your outdoors. Don't just come out on sunny days, come out on rainy days like today. It's sunny, it's rainy, it's windy. Yeah, you're out in the elements, you're feeling the woods around you, you're covered in the woods, you smell of the woods, and then you're wiping it all off when you get home. Yeah, so you're having a much more deep experience out here, which feeds for better memories and better experiences here in Great Outdoors. Right, so after all that rigmarole, we end up with this. Now, this at the moment is technically classed as green, and it has minimal strength. It has the strength that it has at the moment, because the cells inside basically are filled with water. Alright, so it's very water ridden. But as time goes by, that dries out and the fibres inside contract and it becomes more dense. So it becomes more hard, it becomes much tougher. Now the idea here is not to make something with your classic flat bottom. I always get them in my fingers. It's to make something which is going to be sort of bent like that as a container to carry things when I'm out in woods, or to carry things in the garden when I'm home. So I'm going to get that one like that, and then get another one which is also for some bizarre reason bent in the middle, and get that one like sort of that, and then I'm going to start working on it from the bottom to the top. Okay guys, slowly, and then see what comes of it, shall we? But what I've found with these is that if you try to just bend it, it will go in the middle. Alright, so what I do is I make it work to my benefit, so I productively break it along. Does that make sense? So I'm breaking it along to make all the fibres break in the right places, if that makes any sense. So when I come to create the bottom, it's in an organised manner, and it's not just willy-nilly. So the next one there will go from there, and I'll break that one the same way as well. So eventually I've got the shape that I'm going for, but all the fibres are sort of working together rather than just wanting to break all over. So what I've sort of ended up with is this, alright, and it bends where I want it to, alright. So this is when the fun begins. But anybody who knows me knows I don't get in, and even though that looks a mess, I can see some kind of organisation in there somewhere. So I'm just going to keep going at it. Okay, so this is not pretty, but you can see where it's going. We're creating a basket. It's not meant to be pretty, it's meant something that can carry things in the outdoors. And there's a lot of work to do on it, but it's starting to hold itself underneath its own strength. Yeah? So I'll just keep going at it and see where it ends up. What's happening here also is some of these are getting too short, the length of them. So I've got some more and put them through to extend it to take the place of the ones which are sort of waning a little bit. And I'll just keep doing that, and I think we should be alright now, because I only want to go about there anyway. So we should be alright with that, and I'll see if I can weave a top on it. But that at the moment is feeling quite solid, and then I can see about weaving something else into all this down here and creating some kind of shape. At the minute it's not looking pretty, but the idea's there. Do you follow me? Can you see inside? There you go. So I'm just going to keep working on that. The time consuming bit is preparing the brambles for going in. Okay, so now we're getting to this stage where I think in a strange way it's starting to look a little bit more like a weird basket. So I want to take it to about here, because I'm going to use it as a little mushroom collecting basket. So probably another 2 strands, and then I'm going to work on these top bits to hopefully to be able to create an handle, and also to finish the top off. And then I can think about working on some of these gaps which have appeared wonderfully in the sides, but that's not a problem, we can work on them. Okay, so we've got to this stage now, and I'm quite happy with the size of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill some of these holes in just here, and that's literally a case of reweaving some bits in. So literally just look at where that's going, goes through there, pull it back up through there, you'll get the idea. And sewing it in. This is fascinating. You know, sometimes, and I've said it before, it's nicer to learn things, to understand how the fibres work in things, its limitations, what works, what don't work, etc, etc,
than actually just knowing and doing it. I just I get so much gratification from making things from scratch and not learning it. I get more from that than I do from the process of actually knowing how to do it. I mean, sometimes using a fire steel and making a fire and all that, it's great and it's fun. I'm making a cup of tea in a bit, but this, learning this, having to really use my imagination, that's the key. Just not thinking, oh, I can't do that, because just using your imagination, fill that hole in, it's key. Now, I want that one, let's have a look. Those and those are going to be there for a reason. The rest of them I'm going to twine in around the top, and that'll become clear when I've done it. So the ones, these top ones, are now going to be worked in to solidify the top. I've got to remember to bend these, I keep forgetting to bend them. Thank you for coming along with me, by the way. I hope you're having fun. When I come in here, I mean, I think some people think I'm not telling the truth. When I come in, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing. No idea. I just come in. Sometimes, maybe, I might come in for a specific reason, but most of the time, I'm a bit clueless. I just come in and find something to make, if that makes sense. And I love it to bits. There. Just push that down into there. Smashing. Now I've got to keep remembering which ones I'm using. Is it those, them two, and those two? Right, okay. So I'm going to leave that alone so I can go with this one now. I'm going to bend it. Isn't it good fun? Because these were sticking out the top, which are the framework, are now being woven into the actual top of the little basket. I've still no idea how this is going to turn out, and all I want to do is dry it out, and then when it gets mushroom season, I want to find somebody who knows about mushrooms, and I want them to come with me, if they would, and help me to identify mushrooms which I can pick. Really rumbling on top of that one. Come up, there, where you go. There. Sit. Like that. Over like that, then I'll go through there with that. And then I'll just stick that down in there. That's it. Where are they again? The two that I was saving. Those two and those two. I'm not sure that it'll work out, but it should be alright. Oh no, it's those two. So I can use this one now. I'm going to go the other way with this one. How exciting is that? Alright, so we've ended up with this. And it's a good solid basket, I can assure you. If it's one thing, it is. It's solid and it's going to work lovely for putting mushrooms in. Is it the prettiest basket in the entire world? No, it's not. It's not at all. What we're going to do now is create an handle. I'm winging this totally. I'm just having so much fun making this basket. It's nice when things turn out well, you know. I don't even know I'm going to make the handle yet. But I figured if I leave 4 of these strands sticking out the top, I can break the backs and attempt in some bizarre way to weave it into some kind of handle so it looks like a little basket a child would have at Easter to carry eggs in. But we'll see. We'll see. Oh, these are really tough. I'll come back to you when I'm not 100% sure how this is going to work out. But I figure if I centralise it like that, and then weave this one that way, yeah, hang on, I've got a bit, oh, I know what to do. I put that on that side, and that on that side, like that, so, yeah, and then I weave one way, one the other, around the opposite side, if that makes any sense. Like that and like that. Yeah, that's working, I think. If you're doing this and you're taking your kids out, please ensure that if you're using brambles, you take all the spines off the brambles, because your kids aren't going to be impressed if they get jimmied with that. And just push them down there, maybe, if it holds. If it doesn't, well, maybe I could go through and then come back on it a bit like that, maybe. Oh, I can push it other way. Yeah, we can do that. We can go into the basket itself. That's it. So that goes in through there. It gets tangled in itself sometimes. There we go. And then the other side, I can find it. There we go. Oh, it's just gone in. It's just worked. And then on the alternate side, do the same thing. Yeah, with this one. So if you get me, this bramble's a little bit thicker than the other one, so it's trying to fight me a little bit. The bramble will try and fight you, by the way, because it's quite rigid. If that makes sense. Oh, I think this little method seems to have sufficed. Then that there can be pushed down into the basket itself. Hopefully without smashing the basket in. Oh, sweetie, there you go. The fibres tend to catch into each other, and it makes it difficult for things to go where you want them to. That's it. And this one goes. Get off. It grabbed hold of me. And there. And I can probably go into something else down there. Do that in a minute. And that there can go. Into there, and then back in. So, I don't know about you guys, I think that's turned out alright. We've made ourselves a mushroom basket, and we've winged it. We've just used his imagination, haven't we? Totally clueless when I first, well, I had an idea what a basket looks like, obviously, but to actually come out and look around you and think, well, what can I make out of what's around me? I was confronted with problems all the way through this. I know how to bend bramble to make it manipulative so I can use it, and I know its ability with stranding, and I know it's the fibres of it are very, very strong. So I knew it was a good material to work with, which is why I went for it. But other than that, I was clueless as to how I was going to go about it. But there you go. There you go. We've made, well done. We've made a basket, haven't we? So I'm gonna go and get a cup of coffee somewhere. Let's go and have a drink. Yeah. When I get to a place where I sit down, so pleased with that. I generally take, obviously I take my bag off, but I generally take my belt off as well and just leave it there till I'm doing something, because there's no point carrying sharps around on you all the time. It just gives another option for accidents. Right, let's have a quick update on things, because I'm not taking my Stanley flask anymore. I was doing, because I love it a lot, and it's going to go in my other rucksack. This is my water bag, 1 litre water bag with a canvas thing so it don't bust. And I'm now in a luxurious position to be able to bring, put that there, where is it, where is it? Always remember your first aid kit. I'll be bringing my cookser, because I can. This is a cookser made from silver birch burl in this wood, so that makes it a little bit special for this place. I've also got a pan, so I can cook in a pan. I can boil my water in this pan now. That's my tinder kit, my roll of canvas to put on the floor if I need to, pegs for the what's it in the back, the shelter in the back. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to boil some water up, but we're going to be using the bush box again. I love the bush box, so I'll be using my own shelter as well as the bush box. But I love this pan as well. It's a really old pan, and it's an Optimus, a really old Optimus pan, so I love that to bits. I've still got my plate that I made myself. I like making my own stuff, don't I? So obviously I'm just gonna. So we're gonna have a cup of tea in the bush box. This is my little cook set, you see, my little system, and that little canvas bag has got my bush box in it. And I only need a tea bag and a spoon. Oopsie. He says trying to find a tea bag. There's one in here somewhere. Oh, they're in there. They're actually in the bag with the bush box. So I just need a spoon, the cookser, and that's all I need. Right guys, I'll come back to you once that's up and running, and obviously I've got my little frying pan made out of an old socket tin. Just been talking to Ian on phone, who I normally come out with. I thought he were going to coast today, but he hadn't, otherwise he could have come with me this afternoon. But he said it looked like I spent a lot of time making this. We saw it. The biggest part of this was picking the brambles and just clearing all the thorns off. It didn't take a great deal of time. It's important just to come out and make things, and I'm sure Ian wants to get involved in making things more. I can feel this drying out already, and as it gets drier, it's becoming more rigid, and it's great for kids to come out and do this. There's so many different things that kids can use and adults can use to make stuff like this. Even when Do you know the dead branches on the ground? If you find dead branches which are really thin, don't go chopping trees down and making them, but you can find branches which have just been felled or whatever, or have been blown down in wind. To get the thin branches off it, you could still do that with it, you know, do this with that, sorry. Blah de blah de blah. And there's silly little things like, if you wanted to carry eggs or something in it which was delicate, get some of this moss, this stagnant moss, and put it around the inside, and it'll dry out and it creates like a soft inner on the inside of the bowl. And I'm thinking of doing that on my way back, to be honest, because even though it dries out, it stays in its sort of form for ages and ages and ages. And other things, if you want to get a bit more advanced, like making your own spoons and cookses, this makes the experience more enjoyable, more personalised, so you become more part of the outdoors. The plate, I've got my plate for having my dinner on, and I made that some distance over there, and it's totally good for function. So my message to anyone out there is, get out here, get your kids out and become educated about the environment, and inform your children about the environment as well. Alright, so they know not to come out and destroy the environment, they know how to come out and enjoy it and work with it rather than against it. Right, I think that's going to be getting there. I'm going to get me a cup of tea. Top marks. Never put a fire directly on the floor. This is on a piece of dead, damp wood with moss, with stagnant moss on it. And make sure it's totally out and done before you leave. Well, to be honest, this is actually the first time I've ever used this cookser outdoors. And it's working a dream. I've used other ones, but people seem to have acquired them. This one I'll never get rid of. On the way back, I'm going to be looking for some more stagnant moss to put on the inside of my little basket. And if I find any, I'll let you know. I'll sort of put it on after the video. But thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate your views. If you've enjoyed this, if you feel like other people are going to enjoy it, please remember to like, share and subscribe, so we can get out and have more adventures. It's been a bit busy on the channel over the last few weeks, months maybe even, because I've been out of work, but I should be starting work on nights soon if all goes well. So I'll get out when I can. So I've put a lot of videos on for people to catch up on, and I'll sporadically put more videos on. So it's upwards and onward. Hopefully this COVID thing's going to filter off into nothing, become a distant memory, and we can all get back on with lives. Because it's been difficult for a lot of people. A lot of people have lost loved ones. It's been a bit of a nightmare, hasn't it? Financially, business-wise and everything, psychologically. So let's hopefully, fingers crossed, move on from this now. It's not totally over and a lot of people are still locked down, but all the restrictions are being lifted slowly, and it won't be long now till we can go out and get some camping done. So that's something else to look forward to. Hopefully Ian's going to be coming with me, and we'll be making more bonkers things as well. So keep watching, thumbs up, chin up, and I'll see you all up next one.